concerns will be there.
For sure. And some real people going to be out possibly in some of this weather for tomorrow, Derek.
Yeah, the good news about this system, though, is that everybody should be changing over to rain by the time it starts to wind down. So only a brief period here in Baltimore where we're going to see that wintry weather. Areas north and west, though, are going to see a little bit worse weather as far as the wintry weather is concerned and travel. So just keep that in mind. Doesn't look too bad, though, here in the city of Baltimore, especially over to the eastern shore and points off towards the south. Let's talk about the winter storm panicometer. And right now, I've kind of raised it up a little bit, especially for areas to our north and west. I wouldn't say it's quite a get bread and milk storm, but you definitely want to allow some extra time for you wherever you're going to be heading here for tomorrow, as we are expecting some impacts here throughout the day. And even if you don't see any wintry weather, it's just going to be wet across the region here throughout the late afternoon and into the evening hours. Here's the storm that we're watching. So some of the wintry weather has been falling across parts of Arkansas and Missouri this afternoon. It was in Texas and New Mexico yesterday, so it's making some headway. Here are the advisories right now. You can see the winter weather advisory in purple, the winter storm warning in pink, the winter weather advisory now including parts of Howard County, the southeastern portions of Howard County, mainly along US 29 and points east. That was added this afternoon, and that's for the potential there for some light accumulation that could cause some issues early on. I think there'll be more accumulations farther west out towards places like Woodstock and West Friendship. But you could see central northern Baltimore County included in that, as well as northern Hartford County. That winter storm warning, though, farther towards the west from Carroll County westward, where they could be looking at more significant accumulations of snow and ice. Temperatures 30s across most of the region right now, so we're near freezing in many locations, and that's going to set the stage for the cold air to start things off tomorrow morning. But it will be eroded quickly as this storm begins tracking towards our area. We do expect some warmer air in the upper atmosphere to start pulling into the region, and that's why instead of just rain and snow, we're actually talking about sleet and freezing rain, because the temperature profile in the atmosphere determines what falls at the ground. Now, of course, the surface temperatures too, but what's most important, though, is what's going on high up. And we've seen some of that warmer air being pulled in with some of the forecast models, so that's why we expect a bit of a mix across parts of the region. As far as travel impacts here, if you're going to be heading out and about, whether it's rain or whether it's wintry weather, they're going to be high impacts, really starting from late morning through noon into the afternoon and evening hours. I do think, though, that the storm is going to move out pretty quickly. So after about 6, 7 o'clock, things should improve quickly here from southwest to northeast, but it does look like there will be some travel impacts here throughout the day. So let's start things off in the morning. Early to mid-morning, that's when the rain-snow mix will start across the area. Areas well to the south, that would be the lower eastern shore, perhaps southern Anne Arundel County, will be mainly rain. But the upper eastern shore could start off as a mix, then change over to rain within a couple of hours. Here in Baltimore, at least in the city, we're expecting the changeover to occur at lunchtime. So right around lunchtime, maybe even earlier towards 11 o'clock, depends based on how the storm evolves, we will see that change over to just rain. So we've got about a 3-hour window in the morning here in Baltimore City for some of that wintry weather, and then we could get some issues then, but right now it does not look like a significant deal here for us here in the city. But you get outside the Beltway, especially in the southern and northern Baltimore County, you're going to see a significant ramp up in the wintry weather. Same thing for Hartford County and out towards Carroll County as well. So chilly rain for most areas as we go into the afternoon. Still wintry, though, the farther north and west you get. And then the rain's going to move out quickly here tomorrow evening. So Saturday morning, 10 o'clock, this is what we're looking at. Notice that we've got that brief wintry mix over on the eastern shore, and then we've got freezing rain, sleet and snow here across parts of the west. Temperatures down near freezing in some spots. But then as we go into the afternoon, notice how the rain-snow mix starts to change over to rain as the warmer air starts to surge northward. So this is during the afternoon. Notice the areas that are still in the pink and the purple. That's to the north and west across areas north and west of the Beltway and up towards the Pennsylvania border. By 4 o'clock in the afternoon, widespread rain, and some of it could be heavy at times. So the eastern shore, southern Maryland, most of the region near I-95, and then getting back west of I-95, and then even into Saturday evening, most of the area, though, will start to rise to near 40 degrees. So this kind of gives you an idea of what to expect. Don't take these numbers for face value, but notice the big drop-off to the south, increasing totals the farther north and west from the Beltway you get. Again, the big story is we expect a changeover to occur here by the time we head towards noon here in Baltimore City. Next week, we've got to watch this next storm. This is on Tuesday, so we get the wintry threat out of the way, and then we've got to talk about a heavy rain and flooding threat with damaging winds, potentially with another stronger storm coming in next Tuesday and Wednesday. Still ironing out the specifics on that, but just to give you a heads up, We're probably going to have another alert day on Tuesday. We've got one tomorrow. Highs around 40, wintry mix changing over to rain, and then gradually we start to dry out Sunday, Monday, and then the next storm arrives Tuesday. We'll be back.